Namaste and welcome. It is Rishi here from meditatewithrishi.com, and today we are going to be answering the question, how does meditation help with overthinking? So naturally, if you are somebody that overthinks and you want to know what you can do about it, how can you solve this problem once and for all, then this video is for you, okay? So I'm going to explain it very simply. What we'll do is first we're going to define overthinking, we're going to define meditation, and then we're going to link them up together so you can see how meditation is the perfect solution to stop your overthinking problem, okay? So what is overthinking? Overthinking, like the name suggests, is when you continuously think about the same thought over and over again, often without doing anything about it. You go into this negative spiral, right? So let's look at an example. Let's say that you are worried about money. There is a big expense coming up and you don't know how you're going to find the funds to pay for it. Could be a wedding, could be a loan repayment, could be anything, okay? Now, what we do naturally is we start thinking about, how am I going to pay this? What happens if I don't pay it? You know, what would people think of me? All these questions, thoughts related to not being able to make that payment. But it doesn't stop there, because thoughts create other thoughts. Thoughts create other thoughts. So when you start thinking about these negative questions, that leads to more negative questions. You know, you've been through this, right? Those thoughts initially become, why does this always happen to me? Why am I unsuccessful? Why is everyone else around me doing so well and I'm the one who is, struggling and falling behind, right? And you know this type of thinking over a long period of time can lead to a lot of anxiety and, in the longer term, even depression, okay? So this is overthinking in a nutshell, okay? Now let's contrast this and look at what is meditation. Meditation, very simply, is the complete opposite of overthinking. Because in meditation, what you are doing is you are training your mind to stay in one place. You are training your mind to stay on one object, on one idea, in one area, in one place, essentially. So let's look at an example here. Let's say you are using your breath as an object for meditation, okay? So you sit down and you begin to focus on the breath. Now, naturally, a thought comes and you get lost in this thinking, okay? Then you realize that, oh wait, I'm supposed to be focusing on my breath. So you come back to the breathing. Again, enjoying the breath for some time. And another thought comes, overpowers, and takes you away. And again, you get lost in some thinking. Then again, because you're practicing, you realize that, oh wait, I need to be with the breath. And you come back to the breath. Now the power lies in this realizing, in every time you come back. So every time you get distracted from the breath, and you realize and you bring your mind back to the breath, this is where the power is. Every time you realize and come back, you become stronger. You develop your mental muscles, essentially. And this now trains you for real life, because in real life, when you are faced with a problem like the money situation, and your mind goes into this negative chain of thinking, you have developed the power of realizing, of becoming aware of this and coming back. You become able to keep your mind where you want to keep it, to keep your emotional state how you want to keep it, essentially. So let's say that you have this money problem, right? And you're overthinking. The moment you realize, you can say, wait, hold on. I don't want to go in that negative chain of thought. I want to go in a chain of thought that serves me, and ask better questions like, how can I solve this problem? Or what options do I have? Or what resources do I have at my disposal? The point is that if you can train yourself to remain calm, there is a natural creativity that is born out of this. And often you can find solutions to your problems just by being calm. Okay? So, to conclude, does meditation help with overthinking? Of course it does, because they are two completely opposite things. In one, you are going into a negative chain of thought, and that is snowballing. It is snowballing into bigger and bigger problems. But in meditation, you are bringing your mind back to the same place, and taking charge of how you want to direct the mind, essentially. So, absolutely, meditation will help in overthinking. In fact, it is the best way to combat overthinking. Because you have two options, right? Either you do nothing about it, and then eventually you have to start taking medication for anxiety, medication for depression, or you can essentially train your mind to stay where you want it to stay and be calm and happy. Ultimately, that's that's the point, right? To be calm and happy. That is the point of everything. Okay, so in essence, if you are somebody that struggles with overthinking, I definitely encourage you to meditate. Okay, I'll also say this, that if you want to learn how to meditate properly, okay, if you want some help, if you want to create a consistent practice, then this is something that I would love to teach you. So I teach a course in yogic meditation called Path to Stillness. It is just 4 sessions, and at the moment I'm taking students on a 1-to-1 basis via Zoom. So we have the opportunity to really go deep, understand the science, the philosophy of the practice, understand your problems, and how to use meditation to actually solve them. And this is basic stuff that we we need to be able to deal with, everyday's problems. So I really hope that this video helped. Thank you very much for listening. Namaste.